Anybody else is joining? Usually not too many people show up, but...
Oh, do you wait for the chat room to get full or whatever?
Turning that screen off.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get a huge room in here, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Drew?
What's up? All right.
So, Tony,
good job.
Tony, are you good with just kind of jumping in right after I play the news bumper?
Sure.
Yeah.
Going first?
Yeah, as soon as it's done, just go at it.
I don't think I've ever gone first before, Shane. This is a big deal. I might get nervous.
You did last time. I'm pretty sure I let you go first last time.
No, I can go first. That's fine.
What happens if I just close everything here?
Because I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, no. Oh.
What happened?
I don't know what's happening.
Playing a game? Playing Hearthstone?
He's freezing. He's frozen. Oh, no, he's not. Now he is. Now he's not.
What?
He's frozen. Insane stuff.
Tony, are you going to chime in at all on the XP boost or the AirPods?
Yeah, I can talk about my experience with it after you kind of say your little spiel.
Drew, do you have any experience with AirPods by chance?
No, I would lose them, and also I don't own anything Apple, so it's like...
oh, snap.
Well, good. It's good to have
cool.
a differing opinion.
Yeah, it's good to have different people from every side. I like that.
Takes all kinds of fruit to make fruitcake.
I don't like fruitcake. Shane likes apple pie, though, I bet.
Yeah, it's all right. I prefer cherry pie, though. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. But he doesn't like Microsoft pie.
Raspberry pie.
Just saying.
All right. I think...
All right, whenever you're ready.
I think we're good to go. In 3, 2, 1.
Tech Bees.
Hello, and welcome back to Tech Keys, the podcast about simplifying our lives one gadget at a time. This is episode number 80. It only took 4 years, but we finally made it to 80, which is still 20 from 100, which is pretty sad. This is Sunday, May 20th, 2018. I'm Shane, and joined by Tony.
Hello. I was thinking, since we have a guest who would like to do some dancing during the intro music, that I was hoping you might just have that on a loop and see how long he'd do dancing before he
Just
stopped.
make an animated gif of that. Yes, and that guest would be Drew Wintermyer, returning for his second time on Techies here.
Yeah.
Drew, how's it going?
Hello, everybody. I'm doing pretty good, man. I just shut the notes, so you're gonna have to just carry me for a minute while I refigure that out. Hi, I'm doing good, man. It's good to be back.
Good. Glad you're here. Yeah. So as is tradition, I'll start with Drew. As long as you're still bringing up the notes here, what are you drinking this evening?
It's a big smoothie that has raspberries in it.
Nice.
Nice.
Raspberry smoothie. Sounds pretty good, not gonna lie. Is it spiked or no?
No, not really.
Healthier.
Not today.
Gotcha.
It's been a long day already. If I had anything to drink, I'd probably be sleeping.
Yeah.
Tony, is that your dog? Is your dog barking in the background? That's one on you.
That's me. I was trying to mute real quick, but
what's Sammy drinking tonight?
Probably just water, but I'm watching my sister's dog too, and that's mostly him.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
But then when one starts, the other one is like, "Oh boy, what are we barking at? Let's bark together."
And
it's okay.
And what
is? They're all inside now.
And what is Tony consuming?
Tony's got nothing right here. Doesn't mean he won't have anything later, but I've got nothing.
Well, you think I would have learned after our little presentation we went through earlier today, but I am drinking my third thing of wine because two of them were over at your parents' place, and Now I'm on to the third. Clearly, there's this one drink, right? This is only one drink, yeah?
Yeah, that's 12 ounces.
Totally, of wine.
Nice. What kind of wine?
And per my caption below, I am clearly a connoisseur of cheap wine.
Nice. Quality.
Which is, I don't remember, Woodbridge or something, but... Which is funny because I was just talking to somebody who is basically, who works for a distributor of basically all the wine I drink, which is the cheapest money can buy.
Nice.
Almost, because I like Pinot Noir, and they don't really do Franzia. Franzia doesn't really do a Pinot from what I've seen, but at least Pinot Noir. But
They don't do a Shiraz either, I don't think.
sons of, yeah.
Although that's kind of my sort of default for red, but I like all red.
All right. Well, without further ado,
News.
Yes, my article is from The Verge, and it is the 6 biggest announcements from Microsoft Build 2018. And this is a little while ago. They had a conference, the same week that Google had theirs too, their Google I/O. But this is kind of just talking about different things that are that are coming to Microsoft Windows 10, and they just did have a late, I want to say, April update where they had some new functionality to it. But this stuff is that they're talking about now is actually stuff for their, I think, their fall update. And this is kind of the new thing that Windows is doing. They're not necessarily going with different things, like Windows 7 or 8 or now 10. They're kind of just sticking with 10, and they're basically turning it into a service and coming up with these huge updates every year for now. These are just 6 that were pulled from this article, and I'm going to kind of go over a couple of them, or going over these right now. The first one is that I'm kind of interested in to see how they do this. It's a new app. Your phone syncs with Windows, and the app is called Your Phone. And I kind of like this. Like, this is in the Apple world where mostly what's that?
Continuity, kind of.
Kind of with that, but I was just gonna kind of one of the things when I'm on a computer that I really like to do, and when I was on a Mac before. Text messages would come. It's so easy to respond to text messages when you have a full QWERTY keyboard and you're in front of a big monitor. And you don't have to kind of pull your phone out to respond. And I like doing that with Apple with messages.
Sure.
When the message app would open up. But if you're on a Windows computer, or if you don't really have iPhone, or if you have an Android phone, I'm sure that won't necessarily work either.
Also on an iPad Pro, just throwing that out there. I use it on the iPad Pro as well. Yeah,
that's true. That's good. But what's coming here, and I did read a separate article saying that Windows wasn't sure how they might do this. They still need to work with Apple, and I don't know how much this would work, but it might work a little bit more with Android first. But the theory is, like, all your notifications and like even your photos and mostly text messaging, anything going from your phone can go over to your Windows desktop when you're on, your Windows 10 either laptop or desktop, and you can kind of take advantage of that big keyboard right there to respond to whatever you need to. And they're saying that this should come with the fall update, so kind of we'll kind of see about that, but I'm kind of hopeful for that. If I do stay in the Windows world, I don't know, we'll see, because I kind of go back and forth right now. The next thing that this article talked about was Cortana and Alexa will work together, and there's a partnership between Microsoft and Amazon where you can kind of use these back and forth. I'm not exactly sure how this kind of works. They kind of said, and I don't know if I want to say the A word because I might drop people's responses or have it open up. But I suppose I could say Lexi or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah.
Mine's in the other room if that was directly towards me, Tony.
I've got a couple here too, so I don't know.
Mine still isn't working because I think my AC adapter broke on it.
Oh yeah, you should be able to get a new one for
cheap. I know I should do that.
But if you don't use it, you don't use it. I don't know. But surprisingly, we do use ours. I've got it hooked up to the Nest thermostat and some lights, so in different rooms, and I think it works really well. But I don't know how this is going to kind of work with Cortana. Like they were kind of demoing it right now, or in this article where ask Lexi to open Cortana, and it's like, well, why won't you just go right to Cortana? But I think there might be some integration that I can't really think about right now, or don't really see yet on it. But they were demoing it at this conference. Within the Echo to use like Cortana, and then also with the Surface to use Amazon's voices. So more to come on that. It is currently in limited beta right now, and I think you can opt in on it. I think from what they kind of said, it seemed like it was a closed beta, but so I don't know how far they are on this one. But the next thing is Timeline for iOS and Android. And Timeline is actually one of the new features that came out in this update from at the end of April. I want to say it was like April 30th, so it's still relatively new. Where it was a new icon. I'm actually on a Windows 10 desktop right now, and you can kind of just scroll past your history of what you've been doing. The last month, 2 months. I don't really know exactly what. I haven't really read up on exactly what time it was, but you can kind of look at what apps you were using and even what websites you were using too. It's almost like a history of mostly things that right now work within Microsoft's world, so just Microsoft apps. So if I had a Word document open like 2 weeks ago, I could kind of see what I've been working on, and you can kind of scroll through it. When you click on this button, it kind of dims out the desktop, and you can kind of see like the dates on what you were doing when, and you can kind of go right back to it if you need to. And then this is supposed to hopefully help add support for Android and iOS, and it's going to be like the timeline will be included as part of Microsoft Launcher on the Android, and with iOS, it'll be a tab within the Edge browser. Obviously, you have to download the Edge browser, and then using that within the cloud so you can kind of have everything synced together. I guess I don't know if I see myself using this. Part of me kind of, if I do, kind of. Right now, it seems like completely too easy to keep it separate with your iOS devices. If you're using Microsoft, I mean, you can try to combine them if you need to, but I almost see that as kind of a headache. But Microsoft is encouraging these app developers to kind of sync their stuff between devices and provide support for that. They're encouraging, I should say, to use this on more platforms, and we'll see how that goes. And then the next thing that I kind of found a little interesting is Microsoft's offering devs more money than Apple or Google. And the theory behind this is usually with an app store, whoever has the app store, whether it be Apple's app store, Google's app store, Microsoft's app store, anytime you make an application, you throw it on there, the Microsoft or Apple or Google, they'll take 30% of whatever you might get from it. But what Apple or what Microsoft is starting to do now, they want to offer more incentives so you build something for their app store. So now on some cases, they did say that they'll give you 95% of the cut and they'll only take 5%.
Wow.
Again, there's stipulations like it can't be a game and it has to be a consumer application for not a business or anything like that, but for like regular old consumer folk. So yeah, and then there was some for like 85%. I mean, it depends on exactly what you're making and for who, but yeah, that's what they're kind of saying, that they really want to push more devs to the Microsoft store.
See, I thought you first meant devs actually working for Microsoft, but yeah, that makes sense too. Well, I don't know. I have no idea how much devs at Microsoft get paid compared to Google, but that's great to know. That's pretty awesome.
So just Microsoft trying to. I mean, I know. Whenever I think Microsoft, I kind of think the elephant in the room. They kind of lost the boat on mobile completely. I mean, with with Apple, I suppose you could say that with BlackBerry had it too. But I think because of mobile, Android. And I think the App Store is one of the things that helped the iPhone really get to where it is now. And I know that, I don't know if any other big platforms had these, or I should say big companies had these app stores like they do now. I think that was another thing that really helped Apple.
Well, what's crazy is that they lost it to two companies that previously hadn't been in the mobile market whatsoever, and well, I guess Apple technically with the what was it, Motorola Rocker?
Yeah, that's right.
That was the closest thing.
It was a big flop.
What was the PDA thing? Was that a phone or no?
But which PDA?
There was the Apple
the
one.
Pocket PC.
No, the Apple failed one.
Newton.
Was that a phone though, or no?
No, that wasn't. No. But they used some of the technology that they learned from the Newton that went into the iPhone.
Yeah, I believe it.
Of course, that was probably 10 years before the iPhone, maybe earlier, maybe more than that. Was it 92,
Sure.
93? I don't know.
Why is that coming up? Take a snapshot. Get out of here. Why is that there?
I don't see anything.
Anywhere.
What?
On Drew's window. That's dumb.
Oh.
Why is what where?
It's just a dumb window here. Can I make that go away? That'd be great.
Dude, I mean, if we're going to break the fourth wall here, I've been staring at a door frame where your picture is supposed to be for, since we started.
Well, that's weird. I don't see that at all, but...
Tony, do you see Shane in the Skype window, or do you see a door frame?
I see Shane.
I see
the window behind him.
Why do you see a door frame?
I don't see a door frame. I see you guys both look fine, and I don't know, but if
I just don't know why it's just take a snapshot. That's dumb. Anyway, maybe that's going to stay there. It's really dumb. Anyway, sorry, Tony.
I can continue on. Well, the next thing was more powerful tabs. And just the quick thing for this is usually every window is an application, a separate application. Now, usually when you think tabs, you probably think of the application of a browser and then tabs for different websites. Well, what Microsoft wants to do now is they kind of want to have that same concept of one window, and then instead of a tabs being different web browsers, or different websites, they would be different applications. One example they gave was having Word in one. They're calling these sets. And one set would be one window that could contain a tab for Word, a tab for your Edge browser with different websites in it too. And you could have another one for another tab that could be Excel or something. So they're looking into doing that. And then another caveat at the end of that was they would also update the Alt Tab, which is a keyboard shortcut for switching between windows, I should say, in whatever active applications you have open, so that they could go not only into a set, but also into different tabs, too.
That'd be something I'd really care about if it wasn't Edge.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and I'm thinking it could be, I don't know, I mean, I'm sure they're going to start out this way with probably their native apps, but I don't think they're going to end that way because they really do want to, I think, get to more than just what they want, what their, I should say, their applications are, and kind of get into, again, more of the third party, too.
Never say never, but I'll probably never use a Microsoft browser again. I mean, not consistently. For testing is, we'll see.
What if it came to Apple, Shane? I'm just kidding. Yeah, never say never, but yeah, I could see. No, we'll see. And then the last thing on here was the Kinect is alive and in the cloud. And you probably know that as I think it was a failed Xbox accessory.
Was it failed?
Yeah, they did say that. It kind of made that comment in this article too about how it wasn't something that a lot of people, I think, got for the Xbox. But anyway, they're saying that devs will be able to send information from a camera or a depth sensor to the Kinect in the cloud. It's going to be more like a service. And then Microsoft will process that information and then send it back to a device, kind of and they're thinking have Kinect cameras to give different information, just that you might need to look at or use for something. But they didn't go too much into that. But so yeah, they're still. I know Microsoft. I don't think a lot of people hear more about them. I feel like the whole buzz is all Apple lately. So, but they're still, I think, alive and out there and prevalent. And my work still uses Microsoft a lot. So I don't know. But Shane, what do you got for us?
It's really weird. Drew sent me a photo of the door frame he was referring to.
Like, is that in your house at least, or am I just watching someone else's door?
I think that's this door. I don't know. That's weird. It's a different camera. It's picking up for whatever reason. Even though I only see.
How many cameras do you have
myself
right now, Shane?
That's hilarious.
Or
I just have 2 webcams, but I should probably just unplug the other one. Anyway, I'm not gonna do it now to screw something up. But anyway.
Or I should ask if you guys have any comments before we move on to Shane's.
Sure. What about you, Drew? Any of this interest you at all?
I'm into it. I use Edge a bunch for work. Be cool. That's all I got.
Nice.
That's fine.
This Connect stuff. So what's kind of funny about Connect is that's how I see they basically put a mini Connect on the iPhone 10. And, like so many times Apple does. And I'll admit, I say this time and time again, but I'll be the first to tell you of the things that Apple does that sucks. And one, that's not been new, but that's basically what they added, though, was the Connect, and the Connect's been out had been out for some time. So that's kind of interesting that they're... I don't know.
It's more for AR, right? Isn't that the whole point of this?
Yeah, that's true. And I know that's something else Apple has got some weird obsession with lately. And I don't really get it, but some of it's kind of cool. But
AR, I don't know how the average person... I get it for, I don't know, like they have these nice demos at their WWDC conferences showing off a game you can play that's AR, but you basically have to hold your phone up while you're playing the game on this like blank surface, and then you watch it here. I mean, it looks nice.
Even the HoloLens, is that failed too at this point? Because that was
I think that's still devs working on. I don't think that's.
It was interesting, but when I tried it the one time, it was I think it was still in its infant stages, and
I think most AR
not that
and VR
impressive.
still is.
Yeah, true.
I don't think there's a good application out there that's gonna for the average user to be like, oh my god, I need this. Mm-hmm. I think we're still like, it's all a point of concept. I feel like they're still trying to figure out, okay, this is good, it looks cool, it'll dazzle you, it's a good novelty, but how do we want to use this from day to day?
Right.
I don't know. But yeah.
All right. Right on. So I am talking about, and this is the second time I'm doing this, but it's just a video because apparently I'm lazy. No, it's really just because I save videos from Facebook that I find interesting, and now I'm starting to just go right to the source rather than read a whole article about it. But this is a superhuman series by a Facebook page called Free Think, or I'm sure it's more than just a Facebook page, but which was also shared by another Facebook page called Inverse. So that's what I linked to. But in the notes, you'll see that. So there's this guy named Thad Starner who helped create Google Glass. Might be familiar with that one. A failed Microsoft. No, it's gone to... It went to professional use, which I pretty much predicted from the get-go, but... Or what do they call it? What's the word for that? Enterprise, I guess. So yeah. One of his latest creations, though, is a glove that helps people learn different skills through vibration, and it is referred to as passive haptic learning, which helps you learn without paying attention. People have been taught to learn. They've been taught piano with this thing in less than an hour. And now, mind you, when I say taught piano, I think they just are referring to like a single song or a single melody, maybe.
Sure.
But they go on to compare this to how you learn in the Matrix, essentially without doing anything, just plug in and learn. Those using the glove, they even had distracted by giving the ACTs or GREs, but they were still able to learn the song. So they went on to things like visual impairment, and they don't list the last name, but they do mention...
Wait.
Yeah, Drew. What's up?
How does that work? I mean, like, so they have the glove on and it's like vibrating their fingers.
That is
through vibration, right?
That is my understanding. Right.
So like they're like, it's telling them what order to put their fingers down, maybe in the glove while they're like taking a test.
Right. Basically, that's how I understood it.
And that tells them where to put their hand on the piano.
Yeah,
or, like,
it's a little.
They have to like put their hand in a certain spot, and then
I'm sure
if they mimic it.
I'm sure they're like, once they do the pattern with the vibrations, I'm sure they're like, all right, now situate your hand just like this, right? So it's
And if I'm paying attention to the vibrations in the glove, right?
right.
I'm probably not going to do as good on my SAT exam. Like, there's only limited. Like, you can only focus on one thing at a time with the human brain. You can't like divide that.
Well, that's just it, though. It's subliminal, right? I don't know.
I don't buy it.
So they went on to something. They went on to visual impairment as being something else here, and there's this Caitlin, no last name given, who is a colleague of this Thad, who helps people learn the glove. She questioned what else could possibly be used to learn here. And she went on to say that 10% of the visually impaired only 10% can read Braille, which I found kind of surprising. So she created a 2-glove system, and wearers of the gloves, right, 2 gloves, went from what typically takes 4 months. Oh, I guess that's the what it tends to take people to learn Braille, down to 4 hours or less than 4 hours, which is actually 94% of the Braille alphabet. They don't really go into how that seems. I don't
4
really
months
understand.
of study down to 4 hours. No, this is garbage.
This is the future. The future
This is
now.
garbaggio. This does no.
All
this
right,
didn't happen.
all right, Drew, bring it up on Snopes. I'm waiting for you to bring it up.
I'm not gonna bring it up. She doesn't even have a last name.
Well, they talk about Thad. He wears Google Glass. Yeah, it's reputable.
Thad
I
have a
thought it
last
was
name?
no name something.
Google Glass. Thad
That of the
Starner.
Google Glass. That's his name.
Thad Starner. Thad
This is
Starner.
No, this is all garbage.
Okay, well, great. So,
Okay.
so then Caitlin goes and meets her friend Debbie, no last name given, who works with spinal cord injuries and had some of her patients play piano. Half of them were given the glove over 8 weeks. Those that had the glove showed improvement in sensation, and goes on to say one of the patients actually went from just being able to move one finger to being able to button his own buttons. And then also stroke was another one that was issue that was addressed here. Alex, no last name given, is a stroke victim in one of Caitlin's most recent studies and uses the glove about 3 hours a day, visits him every week, and they're still waiting on the final results for this particular study, but so far things are looking promising. So Drew, you seem to want to call BS on this one.
Well, like, what is it? Okay, is it sending electrical current to the hand to like make the hand do different movements, like one of those ab belts?
No.
No.
I'm sure it's just a small jolt that doesn't actually move the
Is it like a tens unit for the hand?
a what now?
You know what a tens unit is like, where they like tape patches on like back injuries. Often get these like to strengthen the muscles and like.
It sends electricity to
Yeah.
it. A small amount to tense the muscle.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, and Shane, this could come. Like, I have a history of being let down by gloves because I did have a power glove growing up. But like, I just like there's not enough information here about like the how-tos, and like these are one-off cases.
Did you see the video, Drew?
No, I didn't watch the video.
Well, watch.
It's pretty high quality video. Surprised you didn't know that.
It is a pretty high quality. I mean, I don't know.
No, because like I got freaked out by something this week, and I know I didn't put it in the notes, but I was hoping like we could get like things in text that freaked Drew out this week.
Well, yeah.
Well, we could do that now if you want.
No, I don't want to take away from your magic glove.
No. I'm
I think you did enough already.
I'm done. I'm done with the magic glove. But does Tony have any thoughts?
Yeah, if this is legitimate, great. I mean, I don't know anything about it either. I see the video; it looks good. Yeah, hell, I mean, anything helping sped up cord industries, make it, having people learn something quicker. Sure.
So what you're telling me is next time I need to actually find an article and rather than watch the video is what you're trying to tell me.
No, you can watch videos.
You can watch videos. I just hate that you reference Facebook. That's all.
Oh, sure.
I'm fine with him referencing Facebook. It's just like it doesn't say how this glove works here at all, and I'm.
No, it's good. It does look interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Vibrations. That's all I know.
Vibrations to help you learn, Drew. It's a thing.
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
I don't know if it's a thing. There's 140 comments on this Facebook thing, so you can look at that and see what people say.
There you go, 140. That's something.
740. Did I say 140? I meant 740.
740 is even better. Did I say
21.
740? I meant 10 million and 40.
And 11K liked it. So just 11 people, and one of them was K.
Seriously?
Oh, just saying 11,000 people liked it.
That's pretty good.
I'm sure there's something to it. I'm not downing it. No, it seems good, interesting. But Drew, what did you hate?
Yeah, what's the?
Oh, I didn't hate, but like it freaked me out a little bit. Did you see that Google Duplex thing?
Yes. And
I might be fake
forgot
now.
to.
What the butt?
Wait, what'd you say about
I heard
fake?
it might be fake now.
Fake?
That's what? They're saying. Yeah, that's the new thing that it might have been staged.
I couldn't find. I saw that headline, Tony, but I couldn't find the actual I went back to find it after I watched the real video, and I was like, "All right, was this faked?" Because if this isn't fake,
it was like a couple different podcasts kind of that I listened to were kind of saying that there might be something more to it, that it might have been staged or something. Like who answers? Usually, when you answer like an establishment where you're selling something, you usually say the name of the place, right? The person just said hello.
Oh.
I mean, that's one thing to begin with. I mean, that's what when I first heard it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is interesting. This seems crazy, but it's also like, wait. Yeah, but it's also there was a haircut and then there was a a restaurant. What were the names of those two things?
Well, they're not big corporation type places, so they're not necessarily going to follow that same professionalism, are they?
Even if they were fake to the point of like the person that picked up the phone was just like reading a script. I mean, like that's fine to me as long as like the program was responding to it, but they did frame it like that it was
the person who answered the phone didn't say who they this is John's Haircuts, how can I help you or whatever, or this is Qdoba,
thank you for calling how can I help you out?
Yeah, we do reservations.
No, it is a fair point.
But then when they were like somebody, I guess they asked Google that, and then Google didn't or declined to answer. Something happened. They didn't. I mean, I would think that would be like why not say that? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but
yeah,
still, it's all like the idea of that being able to happen at that level, like if they can pull that off, wow, does no one have a job anymore?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's the beginning of the end. Yep.
So Google was like, let's see if I can bring this up quick. I don't know if there's an easy way to do this. Where's preview on this thing?
See, like I typed in, did Google fake it? And then like all kinds of stuff just came up.
Well, everything, but I didn't usually go by I just go by like the podcast I listen to, the tech ones, and that's usually what people were kind of saying, like, is this real, or was this kind of like, was there a whole bunch of these and then Google picked out the best one to tell everybody about, or did they try it I don't know how many times? Was it just, I want to say fake, but was it staged, or did they set it up to make it look better than it really was? I don't know.
Well, they probably presented it in the best light that they possibly could, but I'm still talking about the ramifications of it, what they did there. That's so creepy to think that, and then the people answering the phones aren't going to be people anymore, instantaneously anyways, because it'd be way cooler to put a robot on that end and not have to deal with, anyone. So now, 85% of our phone calls that are just hey, what time are you open till, and all that is just
Speaking of
a computer, you know what I mean?
Well, then if it's a computer talking to a computer, do they really even need to use human voices.
That's what I'm saying. How
either,
long until I can put like my Tinder profile on autopilot and then just show up and say, "Hey, what's up?"
Speaking of,
there you go.
Speaking of
You get what I'm
creepy,
saying?
speaking of creepy, this is how I imagine if you didn't see it already, and you guys, I don't know if you're watching it, but if I imagine Google being asked this, did you guys stage that, and then they just make this face? I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but
No, I can't see anything of you, Shane. I'm just looking at a door frame.
no, it's not me. It's Tony. It's on the live feed, but the viewers will appreciate maybe. Anybody that's played Joking Hazard. But anyway. Yeah, but it is creepy, man. It's creepy. I like it and I hate it at the same time. I don't know. But then again, I've never been one to really believe in AI taking over at some point. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I think these are only good things, perhaps.
Well, I like
not
an
only
application system support, so like my job's safe because these things are going to break down.
There you go.
But like anyone that works at a call center, anyone that's driving a car right now, like seriously, you got to just wonder how many years you have left.
I don't want to drive a car anymore.
I don't want to drive a car anymore either. But if that was like your income, like,
well, that's true. That's true. Well,
I'm a truck driver for 20 years, and then all of a sudden they bought new trucks, and
wow, how times changed, Tony. I remember at one point you were telling me you like driving, but
I do like driving, and I'm sure I would miss it if I didn't have to do it again. But
I hate driving, especially in the dark.
I guess
Twilight is awful.
Yeah.
I guess I have to say that with like a caveat. Like, if it was more efficient and obviously more safer, then yeah, I don't want to drive. Just throw it up to the AI gods to do it for me. But I just think getting to that point is going to be time consuming. There's going to be slowdowns. There's going to be probably just a whole bunch of trial and error until we figure it out. But once we're all on AI, I think it'll be a lot more efficient and we'll be quicker, and it'll just be something we have to do. Just be in this device called a car, and you can probably play your Hearthstone or whatever while you're going to work.
I mean, I feel like I mentioned this to you, Tony, but I feel like the prank call thing is certainly going to the prank call game is going to really amp up. For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the spammers, that's the first and foremost, the biggest worry, but you will not be able to realize someone's pranking you until it's too late, probably. Or scamming you, for that matter.
That's, the scammers.
Hello, this is AT&T with an important message, but it's going to sound even more real. More real than the weird robotic voice. So, something to be aware of. And just
Hi, this is John with Landmark Credit Union.
exactly.
Hi, John.
Hi, Tony.
Here's my personal information.
Your card was used in Alabama.
Oh, heavens. No, I wasn't in Alabama.
Goodness. We are working very hard to resolve this. No, you're right. The scripts are going to suck for a long time.
Please.
Like, Google might be able to write a good script, but like,
there's always going to be people
other
that fall for it.
companies, probably not so much.
People, grandparents are still going to fall for it. And then hopefully, they get smarter as time goes on. But
we feel like we're going to be able to pick out all the people trying to scam us, but we're going to be that old crowd someday. And I just feel like we're going to get scammed. We're going to try to, I don't want to say we make fun of the older crowd, but I'm just like, oh yeah, that's too bad. We would definitely pick out who's calling us or who thinks they have our password, or who we don't want to give our credit card to over the phone or whatever. But I feel like these are just going to get more and more sophisticated, and then they're going to dupe me someday, and I'm going to be like, damn it.
Drew, what do you see in this photo? I'm trying to figure out what you're pointing out. In the door frame photo.
Dude, yeah, right? Like, I don't...
Drew, do you have Skype, are you at full screen, or you have a little window of it? Resize the window.
If you'd look in the chat.
What chat?
The Skype chat?
I'm in the Skype.
I'll get that figured out for next time, for sure.
I'm in the Skype chat. I don't see anything. How do I get into the Skype chat?
Put a picture. I've put a couple...
It is weird. It's weird that's happening.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm here. Oh, wow. That changed. That's weird. Here we go.
All right. Well,
I had a little...
Shane.
Yeah.
What grinds your gears?
You know what really grinds my gears?
I'll tell you. I'm sorry. No, that's not how it goes. It's like, you know what really grinds my gears? It's it's digital rewind, and by that I mean slow clap. Digital rewind, basically from the beginning of time, or at least the inception of DVD. This has been a problem. This has been a big issue for me. And well, I'm glad you guys are having fun with emojis now, since we took away the Google whatever you call them. But I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I briefly talked with Drew about this earlier in the week, and it's always been an issue for me because it's just the separate. And I'm not saying this was any better on VHS, really. I mean, maybe a little bit because you had a physical tape that was. Well, you can do a TIE Fighter, seriously. You had a physical tape, so it was maybe a little more accurate, in fact. But yeah, it's just you push the button, and then you try to guess exactly where it's going to wind up, and it never seems to be. It never works how you want it to work, ever. And ever. And it's even worse. Oh, I put work. It's even worse for video streaming services, I think, because you got the buffering and all that crap to worry about.
That's true.
And from the get-go of DVD players, I always envisioned, and nobody ever did this as far as I'm concerned, and maybe it's just not possible with the technology, but if it were a scroll wheel, whether it be, it wouldn't matter if it's like a mouse scroll wheel or that's how I always kind of pictured it. Maybe a horizontal scroll wheel, potentially. It wouldn't matter because it would still work better if it was vertical. Just basically going from, frame to frame, or I don't know. And then you could scrub through, you could scrub through, like, or even a touch screen, a touch or a touchpad type thing would potentially work better. And well, maybe not though, because Tony, you have.
What about a touch bar?
Yeah. Anything works better than just buttons, as far as with digital, and I should say rewind or fast forward, But that or implementing, kind of like they do with podcasts, and I think they've started to do this on the iPhone, but a certain number of seconds back or forward just with a single tap certainly is better than what most video scrubbers offer these days, I think. How do you feel about that, Drew?
I understand what you're saying, Shane. Like, I understand that, like, you'd like to be able to just kind of fling or do like some sort of like motion to kind of just swipe at your rewind, and for it to be a lot faster and like a lot, not as sticky on the frame rates and all that. But I think it comes from like the fact that like we stream a lot of media these days, and then like, so yeah, it makes sense for it to like be buffered a little bit further out than like where you are presently watching. But like when you hit rewind, you're asking it to like, oh, quick, grab that garbage data you just let go of and like go backwards.
Yeah,
So, like, I mean, I think that's, like, the limitation. Like, how much of that do you really want to, like, hold on to? How often do you really rewind?
Sure.
I don't think we rewind all that much, man. Like, I mean, I can probably count... I mean, like, I don't know. Funny joke that I missed?
Funny joke. More often than that, though, likely is... What the hell did that guy just say? Or...
Like, if it could hold, like, a minute's worth of data in, like... memory, that would be awesome. Then you could just like quick go back 30 seconds or something like that.
And let me just say,
and I think you can do that in podcasts already now.
I may sound like I'm being critical of probably very often sound like I'm being critical of technology or people that have worked very hard on said technology, but I understand that you have worked hard on your particular technology, but at the same time, I like to point out things that bother me, and things that I feel like could use improvement at the very least. So, everybody's got a priority list of things that they potential things that could be fixed or could be improved. That's just one that I think should be on the chopping block. That's all. And maybe it's not that possible.
Do you think that the scroll wheel with maybe a Taptic engine in it would help? Do you want that feedback too?
Oh, I mean, yes. I kind of prefer that. Like the scroll wheel I'm using now on my trackball does have that, but it's actual feedback.
I knew we would talk about trackballs yet tonight. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did talk about them the last time Drew was on, actually.
Yeah, we did.
I just noticed that.
But also like so like someone like works them hard and revamps the rewind, like that's not really a feature that's gonna sell it. You know, like, hey, come over to our blah 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 service, we rewind better.
Right. Which is why
the dev is never gonna be spent on it, I don't think.
Which is why I'm just thinking it needs to be approved across the board.
Yeah.
But
what just some of those little things that make up, a platform, a product, a service. I mean, it won't be by itself, a good thing. You wouldn't market it saying, hey, oh yeah, Apple wouldn't come up there on their WWDC saying we got better rewind in the Apple TV now. It would be something that would be done underneath.
I'd get a kick out of it if they did.
Well, now that we're talking about it, I would too. But I just think it would be one of those features that wouldn't be talked about, but they would secretly do just to kind of, like they do with other things, like a lot of companies do.
Well, let me also just say, so I find this to be particularly an issue these days when I'm listening to a song in my car. And I have to hold down the fast forward or the rewind button and then just basically guess how long I have to hold it down for before it gets to where I actually want it to be. Because I don't have a scrubber per se in the car, right? And that's probably the area I find it the most, the biggest issue these days. I don't know. You guys maybe don't. It might be a particular use case because, if I'm trying to, I'll be honest, I listen to a lot of songs for the band in the car and try to kind of like over and over get back to a particular spot. And obviously I don't want to take my hands off the wheel or anything like that if at all possible.
Do you have a counter, like when you're listening to the song, like stop at 2 minutes, 30 seconds? Do you have something like that?
No. Is that a thing?
Wasn't that on like every CD player back in the good old days, and now they don't do it anymore?
Oh, well, there you go.
I don't know. Like you could see like that, like how just the counter of how long a song was, and then you go to track 2, and then it would start at 0, 1, 2, all the way up to a 3-minute song. Felt like all boom boxes and CD players had that, or even cassette players too.
No, but let's say I'm listening to a song and I want to jump to the.
You're a boombox.
Aw, thanks, Drew.
Let's say I want to jump to the bridge or something in a song, or back to the bridge, or I feel like, and maybe there's apps out there that are capable of this. Write us in, let us know at techiespodcast@gmail.com if you if you have a recommendation for something for me. Yeah, because I'd love to know about it. So that's what really grinds my gears.
Yes.
Gears.
Yes. All right. Good stuff, Shane.
Okie dokie. Let's talk about this.
XP Boost.
On today's XP Boost segment, we are talking about an XP update. I don't have a bumper for that still, but maybe I'll probably never have a bumper for that. Let's be honest.
Well, you just saying it sounds like a good bumper.
Yeah, it's great. It's the same. It's still an XP Boost, but going back, I wasn't going too far back. I looked back at some old ones and some real old ones, but this is kind of the furthest back I was willing to go, which is the Apple AirPods, which really isn't that. I mean, that's well over a year at least, right?
Yeah.
Probably at least since we talked about them. I mean, I didn't get them right away since they were, out of stock, but I guess I got them in February of last year, I want to say. And since then, Tony also has a pair of them, and Drew hates Apple products, so I guess he doesn't have them.
Look at his eyes, like going on his face.
I had an S4, man, or no, 4S. That was a good phone, man.
Not good enough for you to keep going.
Wait, which one did you have?
I had the 4S.
You had the 4S, Shane. Yours was your first white one.
That was super cool, man. Like, it was like the right size for a phone, and it like I would go back to that in a heartbeat.
Sure. You know, and
I've got this ridiculous Google Pixel 2.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's just ridiculous.
I have a friend, Evan, who I think you met once, Drew, actually at a movie we went to, but he used to swear by the 5 or the 5S, maybe it was. Oh no, it was the SE. I think a big part of that was the square edges on it, right? And I still, to this day, again, I will point out Apple's flaws, and this was the dumbest move they could have. This was the dumbest move they could have made when they decided to finally add a timer to the default camera app. Was the same time that they added rounded edges to the camera, so you literally could no longer have your phone sit on its side.
Oh.
But now Evan has the what you call it? He has a 7 now, I think, and he loves it. So, yeah. Anyway, AirPods is what I'm talking about here,
AirPods.
and hopefully Tony will have something to say here as well.
All right.
So one of my biggest gripes before with the AirPods, though, was the connectivity always seemed super flaky, specifically between the AirPods and the Apple Watch.
Oh, yeah, you did have that issue.
And I don't know, I may have mentioned this prior, but I just wanted to point out that, again, that it's been infinitely better since they released watchOS 4. I think it's 4 anyway. And it's very, very rare that I get any connectivity issues. I mean, there's certainly still problems here and there. It'll cut out maybe once in a while. But, man, it's worked way better since they released that version for whatever reason. Across the board, in fact. Across any device, really. And I mean, I'll admit that most, if not all of my devices are Apple at this point. But they will work on anything with Bluetooth, which is good. But the biggest issue I'm still facing occasionally with it is that the microphones will stop working once in a while. And I ended up taking it in to the Apple store, and the guy, this was before my 1-year warranty was up, and the guy there, he ended up just cleaning it thoroughly and fixed it, I guess, because it was working great. I tested him after that. And he had this brush, and he gave me the model and everything, which I still have yet to get, but I probably should pick this up. It's the Tech Spray 3022. I think you can get that on Amazon, but yeah, it's a two-sided brush, and I think one with kind of a hard bristle and one with more of a soft one, and seemed to clean it up pretty good. But the biggest issue with that I noticed, or I should say the most visible reason for that, was that there's this, I don't know what it is, if it's like a mold or if it's I guess it's actually is it not calcification, oxidization, right? Is when you get green on something. Is that correct, Drew? You know that, right?
Did you just say if it turns green?
Yes.
That's like isn't that like patina?
I don't know what that is at all.
Like the reaction where you put like salt on metal and then you put it next to vinegar in a container overnight.
Oh, well, I was thinking more like
oxidization
copper.
Would make me think of rust.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking. When you get pennies or copper that turns green.
Yeah, that's what I
Statue
think.
of Liberty.
Copper.
That's the kind of green I'm
Oxidization.
thinking. It's that type of green that seems to show up occasionally on the bottoms of the AirPods specifically. That makes me think that, but that's what he ended up cleaning off, really, and fixed it, I guess. But yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit of buildup. Since I got at the Apple Store, I had cleaned them for me. I have been trying to, like, after I'm done with the workout, I've been trying to wipe off, the sweat a little better, dabbing them more thoroughly, and it's been better at the very least. They're probably in need of a cleaning again at this point. And also, I know I don't know if this is an issue with you. Maybe I just need to clean my ears more often, but wax buildup seems to be pretty common. And as was the case with the traditional earpods, the most recent set of earpods, you have to be kind of careful when you clean that off. And it does get to the point where if you like rub it in too much, that you won't get a lot of sound produced through the earpod. But alcohol seems to work better than anything for whatever reason to clear that out. And no different here with the AirPods. So Tony, did you notice? First of all, starting in reverse here, did you notice that at all with the wax buildup at all or anything like that?
Well, I do notice that they are dirtier than I, wish they would be. Like I'm always kind of finding something to use just to get stuff out of it. Mm-hmm. Did you say you had I thought you said you had a device that helped clean it? I know you talked about alcohol, but what was the thing you talked about?
I don't have it, but the Apple Store guy had it, and it's called Tech Spray, and the model is 3022 is the specific brush that they offer.
Right. I wanted to actually 2032.
I'm sorry, did I say 2032? I have down here 3022.
3022.
LexiDisc.
I just wanted to. You told me something once, and I just wanted to look it up.
But I'm sure this could be used for multiple. Like it's obviously this is not restricted to the AirPods. You could use this in probably just about anything like this. Any small piece of electronics, right? I would imagine.
Yeah. And that's probably the only thing I guess in terms of actual issues with it. I don't really use the microphone that much, so I don't even know if it works or not. I just use it to listen to podcasts at work for the most part.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think when I first got it, I thought you could. I always had issues with double tapping one side to get something to start and stop on it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah.
But now, since I kind of feel for like the whatever the groove is on it, like the one spot, I feel like either side, I don't know. I'm usually a lot better at that, and I think that just comes with time. And then I can kind of just double tap it, and then it will start back up with whatever. And then you can switch those to start or stop or skip. I don't know if there's another option, and you can definitely pick those options up in your iPhone,
right?
When you have it connected.
Because they added in some of those with one of the more recent versions, right?
Yeah, that was was it last year's update? I forget. iOS update.
Sure.
That allowed you to do that. I think that was it.
Which was I like that. I don't know if I'm using it right now or not, but some of that actually kind of I still would prefer if they had some kind of physical button to do some of the stuff, but I mean that's Apple for you, I guess. Try to be simple and make it worse. But
do they still cost like $150?
They're $160, but I gotta say there's a lot more expensive products out there. I'm sure not the ones that Drew has right there. I was gonna ask you about those.
These are awesome. They're like $14 on Amazon right now. They're Hop Day.
Sure.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they got this wire, but like you can hang them around your neck, so you kind of look like. I feel cool.
Should feel cool.
They're sound canceling too, so like, that's my recommendation. I've never used the iPod buds, earbuds. Mm-hmm. But like, I mostly listen to like some music while I work out, and then like podcasts most of the time. So like, audio quality is not like a huge deal for me.
Well, and that's certainly anything wireless isn't going to be as capable as it could be otherwise. But yeah, I mean, if you're on a budget, definitely don't get the AirPods.
Yeah.
But again, there are certainly much more expensive options out there. So,
and I would lose them like nonstop.
Yeah, but you think I mean, I really.
Do you know how many chapsticks I go through during the winter?
6
chapsticks.
Oh my god!
Oh, I know that. I know that feeling
at least
completely.
2 a week.
I certainly know that feeling, but I've actually been pretty surprised how much I haven't. I mean, not knock on wood, not once have I mean, I've dropped them on occasion, very rare occasion, but I've always been able to find them. So
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, no, they've been pretty good though overall. So even better than when I first got them at this point. So it's just those microphones are kind of the biggest thing. It is nice. I found if you have them in already and you need to take a call or something, it's pretty nice for that, honestly. If they decide to work. So.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll make improvements over time with that, but.
Yeah, that's one of the rumors is maybe they're going to update it at WWDC or talk about it at least, but we'll see.
Sure. I'm sure. And trust me, Drew. I've gone through numerous different Bluetooth stereo headphones before, and I started with. I got 2 different pairs of Jaybirds initially, which were like what $100 at the time or something, 50 or 100, which was insane at the time, as I paid $160 for these. But yeah. And then I've gotten multiple ones off of Amazon for just whatever the best one was at the time, and this might be one of the longest pairs I've had, even though this is a replacement since I first got them, because I did replace them because of connectivity issues, but I had the same ones after that, so that wasn't really an issue at the time. I think it was all software not being able to detect or something. I don't know what was happening there, but they seemed to fix it with software one way or another. So, unless you have anything else, Tony?
Yeah, I think that's about it. But yeah, I know with, when I got them, it was hard to get them. They were out of the store for a while. I think they're probably back in store now. With ease, you can buy them. But yeah, I think they're great. As soon as I opened up the case, they're basically connected. It's probably one of the easiest things that I could pair to my phone or for any kind of Bluetooth device or whatever they're using besides Bluetooth. So yeah, with respect to that, it's just so easy to connect them. So that was
so
the other
easy.
thing. I will
agree. That is a huge selling point at this point. And but yeah, before it wasn't out the gate. It wasn't great, and now they seem to be pretty good about being able to connect really quickly. And that is, to me, that is a big deal when most Bluetooth seems super flaky. Maybe not yours though, Drew. Do you find connecting occasionally like they don't connect at all, or is that
every once in a while?
Yeah.
I have to turn them on and off again.
That's a Bluetooth thing I found over time.
I mean,
it's still...
But that's like every piece of tech I've ever bought in my entire life.
But when it comes to wireless in general just tends to be less or more flaky, I guess. I don't know, for lack of a better term. But Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, anything like that, there always seems to take a while to get it kind of figured out. But all right,
yeah.
Well, hey, I think that'll about do it. If you would like to shoot us a message, our email again is techiespodcast@gmail.com. We are on Facebook and Twitter at Techies Podcast, and you can find us on any of the aforementioned places, Facebook, on our Facebook page, Techies Podcast, on YouTube. Nice Guy Network is where you can find us there, and on Twitch at Nice Guy Network as well. Our website is niceguynetwork.com/techies, and you still find us on Alpha Geek Radio and Stitcher when we record Sundays at 6/7 Central on our YouTube channel. Oh, I'm sorry. I already mentioned all those other things. I should probably revamp that because, like I said, we record on all those different channels, not just YouTube. But you can definitely find us there. You can find Tony at Why Not Big T, myself at Shave Mad Ox. Drew, do you have a Twitter handle you'd like to share?
No.
Right on. that should that should about do it for this evening. Thank you, Drew, for joining us once again. Hope to have you on again.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Tony. And thank everyone else for listening. And until next time, tech her easy.
I think putting Skype back on my computer gave me the 100% disc error again. I literally think I have to reboot this thing.
Please hang up and try again.
Again.
It's been a while. Oh boy.
That was perfect, Tony.
Oh, it's just
I'm glad I kept
you up
that into
there.
the recording.
yeah.
Good stuff.
So like, all right, I was having this problem before, and then like I rebooted from 0, got rid of Skype, but I got Skype back for this, and now I'm back to. I'm just gonna post it in the chat right here. Boom, it's back. Not the picture of Shane. That's funny, but
Which chat?
It is weird.
You're posting it to the chat in
Skype.
Oh, there we go. Oh boy. Let's get that.
Oh yeah, well, let's see this.
How do I even look at that?
How do I? Oh, double click it or? Oh wow.
What the heck's going on there?
Like, Skype hates my Windows 10 or my Google. They always have some
God.
sort of interaction. Oh god.
What's happening?
What's Grindcoin?
That's necessary.
Is it though? I mean, it's just another. Microsoft Edge is taking up a whole bunch of your memory too. Oh jeez. How many windows do you have open or tabs do you have Microsoft Edge open?
What's happening right now?
That's big. Is he gone?
I don't know. I'm gonna end the call before, not the call, but I'm gonna end the recording
That's fine.
before I
I'll get
show
back to you
anything
guys, no
conspicuous.
Yeah, I
I
know.
just lost him.
I lost everyone.
What?
Oh yeah.
Like, did you lose the video? And all
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally lost the call too. I don't know where it is. It's hiding somewhere.
Well, you're looking your lower right hand corner for Skype.
I think I got you back now.
You're doing a good job, Drew.
Hey, Shane, I can see like your whole camera now.
What? Now you
You
can.
mean
Exciting, man.
Oh,
you
I
can see
certainly
him now?
didn't change
Not just
anything.
that upper corner by the door.
That's
Yeah,
really
you-
weird. I don't know why that happened.
That was super awkward, man, because I kept like looking for you while you were talking and you weren't there, and it was just like, well, I guess it's me and Tony. So
You guys
yeah,
are
no,
amazing.
I've got this stupid disk error going on
How
again.
big's your hard drive?
Huge, enormous.
How much
Nice.
is full?
It's the biggest.
2 terabyte.
Do you know what a paging file is?
No, I don't know what a paging file is.
Paging file.
I don't feel like explaining it either. Do you have a solid state drive or a regular?
This is regular.